Hello, happy Sunday. Good evening. It's 6 p.m. here. Got a different view today. I'm working on a custom order, so I thought I'd do an hour of work here with you guys. So I've already started. I've got this done. I've got the braided part. This is going to be just hanging with a bunch of cords here in the back. And then we'll finish up this part here today. And then these will come together. Oh, okay, 1 second. Hi.
Does Cameron want to come to the park with us?
Oh, she's not here. She's at Rose's.
Oh.
They went swimming this afternoon, and then they went, and then she's eating supper there.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I'll let her know you guys came by, though. Okay. Bye. Okay. That's two friends of my daughter's that came by to see if she wanted to go to the park. But she's not here right now. That's cute. Okay. So I learned how to do a diamond shape here. So I'm just going to continue. Might be a little bit trickier to see because it's black. But if you can see on this part here, I finished this side. And then once I'm done this side here, I'm going to attach them together. Hey, Amy. Thank you, my friend. I hope you're having a good day as well. Thanks for popping in and saying hi. So I decided I usually do my lives in the morning from like 10 to 11 on Sunday. But my daughter was supposed to go swimming in Cochrane, and then she was leaving around like 10:30, 10:45, and I was like, that wouldn't work. And then come to find out that the Cochrane pool was closed today, so that didn't happen. All right, so I'm doing diagonal double half hitch knots, and this is what I've used to make my diamond pattern. And I gotta say, it's quite the workout, and it's not as easy as bringing it down. Sometimes I've had to like stand up a few times for, just gotta make sure here I do it twice. Yeah, okay, second time. Yeah, so I'm gonna make 4 of these sections here, just like I did on the other side. And happy Sunday if you're joining in or watching the replay. I'm working on a custom order today. It wasn't really that nice of a day today, so I really worked on this one today. I had to watch a YouTube tutorial on how to do this, so I watched it like multiple times, tried it out, paused it, tried again, till finally I figured it out. All right, so now my shoulders can take a little break. So this piece, this dowel here, I believe it's 6 feet. The custom order, she wants about 4 to 5 feet. I wrote it down here. So I'm working on a custom order right now. Yeah, so 4 to 5 feet. So I did like a rough draft, wrote what materials I needed. Also how much cord I cut because I need to do the same thing over there on the other side. So there's going to be 3 sections. So I kind of also, if you notice here, I've got like a little colored cord, and I put a white cord here. So I measured out, so 18 inches here for the one small side, and another 18 inches on the other side. And then in the middle is going to be a little bit larger. I measured that out to be 2 feet. So that was the first step that I did, was kind of just measured out. And then there's like 6 inches on each side here, just to know how much space I have for it all. And then this braided part here, once I'm done, I'll attach it onto this side here, so it'll just kind of cross over. So it's kind of it's done in little sections. So now I'm just going to do a square knot. So pretty much the whole of this row here is the double half hitch knots, and it's just the placement of where they go, and then you have the 1 square knot in the middle. So for those that aren't in Canada, tomorrow is Victoria Day for us, so we have it off, and so it's a long weekend for us. But it wasn't really that nice today, so a lot of people go camping this weekend, but we woke up to just a dusting of snow. Hello, Carol. Welcome in. How are you? I'm working on the custom order. Finally started it. So this is just a small section. There's going to be 3 sections in all. Like my dowel here goes all the way. It's about 6 feet, I want to say. And so I've gotten this part done. Now I'm working on the other side, and what's going to happen is once I'm done, I'm going to bring them together so they'll have that V shape. And then I've done the braided cord here, and I wasn't sure about the length. So eventually this will come and attach here. And then I have a picture here that I'm looking at. Yes, thank you. It's a lot of little steps, but once you figure out like the length, and I think it's mostly length that takes a long time, because I had to redo this. This is like my 3rd time. The first time was too short, and what I didn't take into consideration was that at the end I'm going to have pieces that are shorter and pieces that are longer. So I ended up measuring out like the pieces. Some pieces will be longer, but it's still a little too short. So I'm not sure. Yeah. So I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it and then just end up maybe hiding the smaller strings behind other strings, because there's going to be a lot more strings hanging down from these pieces here, and you may not even see them, or taking it apart again, reusing these in another section. Oh, nice. Yeah, and you know what? It wasn't really that nice of a day anyways to go out. Yeah, that feels good when you get those tasks done. So I'm just working on my other section here. And like I said earlier, a lot of these knots are the double half hitch knot, and then I've got 1 square knot in the middle. So this is the diamond pattern. And it's funny, I've never had to do this pattern, so you don't have the patience. Oh, to take it out, you mean? Yeah. I sometimes sit here and I'm just like, I don't want to take it out, but I can't have it too short. And if you're gonna do like one with square knots, there's a certain way that you can add a knot into it if it's a square knot. But if it's something like this, I can't add like a cord to a cord. So I'd rather just take it out and, but that's not, yeah, or to do, that's not even the worst of it though. So I had started with a different type of cord. I have it here, I kept it. I cut it off. So this is my first one that I did, and I was making it. And so this cord that I got here was a single strand, and it unravels pretty easily. So this is the one here. I don't know if you can see it, but it's got like a bunch of like little pieces coming out. And like if you look down here, see how like the cord is? And I didn't even really like take out my knots. So I really did not like the look of it. So I ended up ordering a whole brand new cord. I ordered like 5 new bundles. I was like, I can't make this and give it to the customer. But I have so much of this cord now. I was like, what am I gonna do with like 2 huge rolls of black? And then my daughter was the one, she's like, Mom, she's like, use it to make bats for Halloween. And I was like, oh, that's that. Or like a Halloween wall hanging where it looks a little like rustic or old because of the cord. So I'm still gonna use it. I was like, that's such a smart idea. I was like, I like that. Because it's like a more of a rustic, right? And I have so much of it. So get ready for a lot of Halloween bats or any other Halloween stuff. I'm already thinking about Halloween. But I've got a lot of this cord, so I'm gonna have to do something with it. So then I ended up ordering a 3 strand. So this is what it looks like. And I don't know why when I first started, I think it's because I researched large macrame wall hanging and everybody was using the single strand. And I was like, okay, well, I'll go with that. I'll order that. And I really don't like it. It unravels too much. And especially this cord here was a new cord. And I wasn't very impressed with it. So this one is the 3 strand, which is hats. Oh my gosh, right? I'm thinking like anything black, rustic. So get ready. Maybe even some like plant hangers too. If you like that like old-fashioned look. I mean, the cord's still good. It's just, there's imperfections in it, right? So, and when you're doing a custom order like this, and I'll show you the picture of what it looks like. And this is what they send you. It's definitely not that vibe that they were going for. So I ended up searching up 3 strand, 5mm black cord. It wasn't easy, especially in the black cord. It's not that popular. If it was the natural white, natural cream, that I could have gotten like big bundle, not a problem. So that's why I had to buy 5, because they only came like smaller. I couldn't get like larger rolls. And I went with the 5mm size here because it is such a big project. All right, so now I'm just gonna do the other side here. Thank you. Here, I'll bring you guys a little bit closer. So this is what it looks like. And you can kind of see that it will zigzag, right? But like I said, because it's so dark, it's a little hard to see. But yeah, I know how to make a diamond pattern now. At first it was a little confusing, and I had to rewatch that video multiple times before I got it. but now I can, if I don't stop like a certain project, I can redo the same knot out of muscle memory, right? But it's once you stop and work on something else and then go back, you kind of forget the steps. Yeah, I'm much happier with how this is looking now. It looks a lot cleaner. And then I ended up taping the bottom. I usually don't tape the bottoms like when I work on projects, just because I know like I'm able to finish quickly enough that it won't unravel. But because I might have to take this apart, I'm glad that I taped it so it's not going to be all unraveled at the bottom. So I'm just, this is a custom piece that someone ordered, and she said that she had met me at one of my market vendors. Oh yeah, right. So this customer here said she saw me at a market like a craft show. She capped my card and she waited until she was ready. She said she's been like wanting this specific wall hanging for like 4 years now. And when she saw like what I could do, she said like, I knew that you were the one to make this for me. So, and I've got some beads to add as well, some black beads. So I was pretty grateful that she thought of me. To bring this to life. So the picture that she sent me, it looks like the cord's smaller than the one that I'm using. So obviously, like instead of 5 like little squares here, diamond patterns, there's probably only going to be 4. And I also don't want to plagiarize someone else's work. So if there are like differences, then like, yes, I'm taking like their style of ideas, but like the knot itself, right, like is not theirs. So there will be some differences. Thank you. I'm pretty good at looking at a picture and like figuring out what they did. There's a section though that okay, I know what knot they used. So the part where they bring it together here, there's like a diamond shaped, and then there's like texture in the middle. So I'd have to look at the picture again and see, especially that big diamond paint, that diamond shape. And like I said, even if it doesn't look 100% the same, I'd rather it have a few differences, not to go and plagiarize someone else's work. But we get inspiration, of course, from others, and we make it our own. Yeah, so for this one here, I ended up cutting the cords like 2 feet longer. So I'm hoping that I have enough cord to... All right, so I'm gonna leave that like that. And sometimes you notice that it kind of, it's like a little wavy, so you can just kind of place it. And then I find these here, if you bring your 2 cords here together, it doesn't look as like square, like choppy. You kind of get that circular. There you go. I gotta take a break sometimes though because my arms, just because of where it's placed. I mean, I could bring it down, but because it's such a large dowel, it's easier if I just leave it. But it's been a workout so far. And then this piece here in the middle, I'm gonna have other cords hanging. So there's gonna be a lot of cords just hanging, and then at the bottom I'm gonna like cut it at triangular. Yeah, so this is a big piece. This is gonna take me a little bit. But I'm glad I started it. Sometimes when you have large projects like this, or if you're working on something, it might be like a little daunting just to start, because I'm like, I know I can do it. It's just figuring out how long do I cut my cord, and will I have enough? And obviously, yes. Yeah, my shoulders are feeling it right now. So I just take little breaks. But as I get lower, it's not as bad. Yeah, so what I did was I just decided, okay, well, I'll just cut 5 cords at like, I don't know which, 14 or 15 feet. And then I started doing the pattern. And then that's when I noticed that some of the cords near the end were a lot shorter than the others. So what I ended up doing was I put some green tape on the cord that was super short. And then I took it all apart. I took all this apart. And then I figured out which cords, like which ones here that I ended up putting were the shorter ones. So I made those a little bit longer. And that's what I did on this one. But I still feel that I may run out of cord because I still have to attach it with a diamond. And I still need a bit of, that is long. And then I still have to have some for the fringe. So what I did on this side here, so I ended up putting 2 17 inches. Oh, no, I think I made it. Yeah, 2 17, 2 19, not inches, feet, 19 feet, and then 1 16 feet or 18. So it uses up a lot of cord. But when you're making all these knots, you got to think this is all the cord that's being wrapped around. So yeah, it's a lot. All right, I'll do my little square knot in the middle here. There. I think that's looking pretty good. So I've got 1, 2, I'm working on my 3rd one here, and I'll do 4. Oh, and then it's like trying to work through, like that's how long it is. So but at least with this cord here, it doesn't like get tangled up as bad. So I am really, really liking the 3-strand cord. So if you're thinking about starting, even if it's not like something as large as this, I suggest you do 3-strand cord instead of single strand, because like you saw there, the single strand unravels very easily. It's a lot harder to work with. There. And even in this smaller one here, I just, there we go, take a break with my arms. Yeah, so I'm super excited to see this all come about. And then I've got some black beads too. And the black beads are going to come in this little section here. So it's going to be like smaller beads, a few large, smaller. So that's why I like measuring it out first. And then you can kind of visualize where everything's going to go. So my daughter is off school tomorrow because it's a holiday here for us. And it always like kind of messes me up a little bit because even today I was like, what day is it? Because I knew that she has the day off tomorrow. So, all right. So that's that. Let's start on this side. We didn't really have like much going on this weekend. I didn't even realize it was a long weekend. When you don't work like a corporate job, or you kind of, it doesn't really mean much for, or I don't really keep track of that, right? Because I'm usually off Monday anyways, at home working here. But my daughter like had a play date yesterday with a friend who came over. She had a play date today with another friend. They went swimming. And then right when this, yeah, right? Like it just, yeah. And then she just had two friends show up at the door asking her to go play at the park. All right. There we go. That looks good. So this is what I've got done. I'm really excited to see like it come together. And then this is gonna go like kind of like at an angle like that, and a link up with this one here. So for a V shape. I think I might have enough cord on this one, which is great. When I noticed that the second time around, oh, I gotta restart. I got all confused there. When I noticed the second time around, when I added more cord and still it wasn't enough, I was like, okay, I'll leave it for now. Yes, thank you. I'm excited too. Even just for like one little section to be done, right? And then I'll have to do the same thing on the other section, and then I'll start work on the larger middle part. So yeah, I ended up adding an extra 2 feet onto this one. And let's see here. Sometimes I forget if I've done 1 or 2. So I'll finish up this row and then I'll get my 4th one going. And then when I finish, I just kind of like to place it. And I'm also gonna, there's like always like a little bit of a space here. I just like to play around with the cord a little bit. There. I hope you guys had a good day. Not much to do outside today though. I knew it was going to be cold, but I didn't realize it was going to be this chilly out. I'm so happy that I have this board here too. It really helps. And then I just ended up adding some S hooks just to hold it. It is a nice pattern, right? It's a diamond pattern. So it is very nice. So it kind of looks like it's like zigzagging right through. So what I end up doing is there's one section here that has longer, it goes the whole way, and then right here it's only half, but it looks like it's like a full, and then it's a long. So I always do the long on the same side. You could do it on the other side, but the tutorial I was watching, she did it on this side, so that's what I did. So now I gotta do 1, 2, 3, 4. I take my fourth one here, so it matches up with the 2 here. And then I do my line just across. This is going to be my last little diamond pattern here at the bottom. And then I'll do double. So I'll take the 5th one. So I'm just working on a custom order right now if you're just joining. It's all black wall hanging. It's going to be a large one. And I'm just doing 4 diamond pattern shapes. So I've got like 1, 2, 3. This is my last one. And I've got one here already done. You can see what it looks like. And then I've got here I've done just kind of like a braided cord. And then what's gonna happen is once I'm done these 2 and figured out the replacement, then I'll be able to add this here. So it's gonna be hanging, and then these I'll just cut off. So now I'm just gonna add my little square knot. In the middle. And then, so I'm going to close this off, and I'll be almost done. And then I'm going to need to figure out how to do that diamond, the diamond pattern, because it's, I mean, it looks like this, but it's slightly a little different to tie them both together. And sometimes that might have to be done while watching a YouTube video. Actually, it's going to be this side, it's going to be longer. So finish up this side, and I'll have to look at the picture. It's getting a little easier now on my arms now that it's a little bit lower. I'll have to fix this because there's a bit of a gap, some space. And then, okay, so knowing which one's your working cord too, right? So I'll finish up this side. And then I'll look at the picture just to see. And then maybe next week when I'm back on, you can probably see the progress. We'll see if we're at a different stage, or if I'll be working on something different. I'll still show you guys though. Okay, let's just double check. Yeah, so it looks like it's going this way. Otherwise I would have went that way to finish it, but we're gonna try to figure out how to do it the other way. If you've ever done like macrame and had to do like one side and then do the other side, you know how tricky it can be to flip sometimes when you're so used to doing it on the other side. Okay, I think I got it. I just can't forget which one's my working cord. It's okay. I'll finish this and we'll see how it looks. I'm also hoping that these kind of line up too with the, yes. But sometimes I have to research it, or like just sit and think about it. Because sometimes it is tricky. And then I'll see if these are at the same height. So far the cord's been staying together too. I think it helped that I added tape at the bottom. And then when you're working on something like this, if you've noticed, sometimes I like go like to the back just to pull and tighten it. All right. I think I did it. And then if I bring these
almost feel like
because she wants it about 3 to 4 feet, like in length. So if I do 3 feet like this, that kind of ends. I'm just gonna eyeball there. It ends here. So if I end up putting these here together, I'll have something here, and then with the fringe, it looks like the fringe is a little bit longer. Thank you. Yeah, it really comes together. When you see them just like pieces like this hanging, you don't think much of them. But look, you can kind of see. So I'm gonna have to, so it has double, so that's the part. It almost looks like, let's just try it out. There's gotta be a working cord. And then if I want it to go this way, my working cord has to go this way. Now, this one's fine. This one seems to be giving me a bit of trouble. Just the way it's laying. See, like this one just goes where it needs to go, but this one here is, yes, yeah. The 3 feet would include the fringe. So that's why on the picture it shows 5, but the cord's a lot smaller, and the middle one here has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, you can see it coming along, eh? I'm just gonna make it a little bit tighter here. So sometimes it's just, because there's not a YouTube tutorial for the specific for this specific one, right? So what you do is you just look at each individual part, and it's a lot of, so see, so if I were to continue, that would give me, and then this part would give me the second one. It's just a lot of trial and error. So that's what we're gonna do. And I feel like once I do this, see, like this one is getting a little short. That's what makes me think that I might have to redo. And sometimes when that happens, when I do have to redo something, I just end up leaving it and coming back to it later or the next day, or work on something different, because it can be a little frustrating to have to redo work that you've just put so much time into. But again, it's such a learning curve, and that's how you learn, right? You make mistakes and you just figure out that, okay, I'm gonna need to add more cord. You know how to make it. This part here is kind of bugging me though. Just the way that this part looks really good though, like that. But like I said, yeah, exactly. For me, I find it's the figuring out how long to make it. And it's sometimes just trial and error. And even myself, after what, five years of doing this, even myself, I have to restart. I'm actually gonna post that picture, I think, of the fail with the cord. Because it happens, like, yeah, you think you're getting the right cord for the project, and it ends up not being. So right now I'm just trying, and sometimes too is, thank you, Carol, that means a lot. And sometimes what I'll do is I'll work on something, and even if I'm not happy with it, I'll work on it and I'll finish that little section and I'll just stare at it. I'll have it somewhere and I'll just stare at it once in a while, right? And then I'll be like thinking about it, or maybe I'll look at it and be like, you know what, it looks good. Yeah, I like it. Or if I notice after staring at it for like the fourth or fifth time, I'll be like, yeah, I don't like it. We're gonna have to take it apart. But I try not to sit and dwell on it too much, because I've learned that in the past that it doesn't help. Okay, so I've got this part. And I'm not sure if I want it a little bit lower. But this is what it's looking like. Yeah, for sure. Because I'm looking at a picture of someone else's work, but it doesn't mean that I'm going to be able to get the exact, I'll be able to like make it my own way. So see here, when I look at the picture, it looks like it's a little bit lower. And then it's, when you do one side, you got to be able to do it on the other side. So the way to fix this is I would have to take apart, and then my working cord would just have to be a little bit lower. So I do think the middle section, if it was like this, it'd be fine, but I think I'm going to try to make it a little bit lower. So yes, I will take it apart. And when you are taking it apart, even if it is the 3-strand, you still have to be careful not to unravel it too much, because at this point of the project, it is a little fragile. So I'm going to try to make it more of a smaller triangle. And if I can't, then I will just leave it as is. I do like the way it's, oh dear. It's not too much to take, but looking at it, I just didn't like the way yes. So now you can see how much detail and planning go into a piece, but you also can't be like too OCD about it either, right? Like before, you know, make sure that everything is, but that's art too, though. It's not perfect. And you gotta remember that, oh, this cord here is looking a little rough. You have to be careful. All right, so I'll take out one more, but
I won't need to take it all out. But what I'll do is I'll try to remember to bring it a little bit lower. So wherever your working cord is, that's where, so if it's higher up here, your line will follow, but I'm going to try to bring it, try to remember to go a little bit more this way. Sometimes that's hard to remember. And again, and you know what? I might make it a second time, and I might not like it either. So that's why sometimes working on large projects like this on live can be frustrating for some to watch. All right, so you can see now it's a little bit more of a diamond. So I'll try to do the other side the same way. And I gotta look at my cords here. So this one's gonna be for my second row. I want to say this is going to be, so see, this is because I tied it this way. This might be the tricky part. I'll just do 2 here just to get this one. Okay, so I think I might have to, because now I'm going to have a little bit of a gap here. I might have to search up how to do this one. I don't want a gap. So this one I might have to do off camera and try to figure out how to do, unless I use this one to cross. But then you want to make sure that you have enough. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, see, this one only has 8. So if you do 9 on this side and only 8, you're not going to have the same. So I'll have to try to figure out how to do this part here, because I want to make one diamond pattern like this, and then down, and then have like designs in the middle. So I think that's where I'll leave it. But we did quite a lot of progress though. Like I finished up this side, which looks really wonderful. And then once I get this section done here, I'll be able to measure out how long. This one here will have a bunch of cords hanging in the back. And then I'm also gonna have cords hanging from these little extras here. So I think I'll have 3 on each. So there'll be quite a lot of fringe on there. I'm excited. And then when I'm done a project, what I like to do is just kind of lift it up here. So my cat doesn't get to it. So it kind of works out. So I'm just going to leave it like that until I'm ready to work on it again. Yeah, so that's that. So take a little break, and I'm also thinking these these are the beads here. Thank you. I'll show you what the beads look like before I leave. And I'll have quite a lot of black beads too. So they're just, I've got these small ones here. And then these ones are a little bit bigger. And they've got like the larger holes in them. So we'll have a bunch of beads in the middle here. So that's gonna be really cute. Yeah. Strand of beads in each section. So I got quite a few just to make sure I have enough. But I love that she went with like all black. It's not often that you see an all black wall hanging. Like the example she gave me is all white, right? So it's exciting. So yeah, so I'll be working on this in between working on like stuff for upcoming markets. I have the Moonlit Market coming up on June 20th. That's my next one. And then I signed up for 5 farmers markets. So I'll get like a schedule up, put it on my Facebook, and trying to think, I think that's all. That's all that's going on next. So work on this as I work on other stuff, but I've got quite a lot of stock already because I had made so much for the shop. And so I've got like new pieces. I did like new cardite fusers too with the lava rock beads, which are new. And I tried it out and it's pretty cool. You just put your like essential oil onto it, and because there's like little holes inside, it just kind of soaks it up. It's pretty cool and it looks really nice too. And I was able to find some like multicolored, and so that's exciting. I've got like some new plant hangers, some plant propagation holders. Yeah, 5 markets. Yeah, well, I've got like the 5 farmers markets plus the Moonlit Market, so 6. And I did 7 farmers markets last summer, and I just found it was a little much, actually, especially in the summer. And I've got my daughter, and you know, like setting up a tent, and it's early in the morning, and by noon you come home, it's super, like, you know, it's super hot out and you're just exhausted. So I did 5 this summer. Yeah, so that'll be good. And I was able to find a tent at Walmart, so I'm happy about that. I had to buy a new tent because mine broke last summer. Yeah, so the setting up the tent is a lot of work, and then you know you have your tables, and it's just a lot. It's a lot, and not too bad when you have help there, but when you're alone, it's fun when it's all set up though. And I love the farmers markets outside. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for this. And it's actually starting up soon, farmers markets. Like I only signed up for July and August because it's not as cold. But like some people are starting like within a few weeks, maybe. I'd have to check when. But I still find it's a little bit chilly to go in May. It is a lot of preparation. You don't really realize it, but a lot goes into setting up for markets, especially if you have to bring your tent and tables and chairs. And yeah, so I think I might give this a little bit of a break, come back, and maybe work on a few smaller items. And then next week I'll be back on, hopefully at the same, the 10 to 11 in the morning. And there'll be some progress for sure. So May 31st, okay, that's the first date that they open. So yeah, that's coming up very quickly, actually. Awesome. Yeah, and I'll see you guys next Sunday. I don't think I have anything going on, but I'll send like a story to let you guys know what time. And if you joined me today, thank you. And it was nice seeing and talking to you guys. And if you're joining me on the replay, thanks for watching. And I'll see you guys later. Okay, bye.